lights, camera action. Living in a dream, now my music they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. It's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like...
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the Pacific Northwest, the home of the 12s, as it's called, CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, Bradshaw. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
He's got a first down past the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
A gain of 26 yards. First down, Packers.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Back to the ground on first down, Edmonds. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. 26 6 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. I think that's the dream start right there. The defense stands up on the opening drive, then they go right down the field and score.
It's a positive start for your offense and your defense. And when you're talking about playoff football, what a great way to get things going.
Everything is magnified and amped up a little bit more.
To put it mildly.
At their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now it's Carson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start on the ground with Edmonds. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Watch a slap, watch a slap, watch a slap.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Edmonds. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 6-0 our score after 1. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
You got time right there. 54 is Mike. 54.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, this is Edmonds. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They run the counter. Edmonds. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Haskins. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One of these 2 teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It'll be Edmonds to begin the drive. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Gain of 18 on the play. First down, Packers.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's Edmonds.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19. On the ground, it's Edmonds. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Here's Rodgers. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Haskins. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And now it's 3rd down.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen.
They'll run on first down. Edmonds. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Even with the good gain, I thought they might accept that one.
Yeah, you thought maybe they'd go with the downs as opposed to the yardage. So if you're taking the yardage now, second and less than 5, that tells me you feel good about how your offense is working.
On second down now, Edmonds. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll look to pick it up with McKinnon. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A 6-yard touchdown run. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round, but I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel and make sure they get their security deposit back.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line.
On 2nd down and 4, Haskins nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. 3rd down, here's Haskins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. He misses yet again, and the struggles here, they look pretty uncharacteristic for him.
You're certainly right about that. Mechanics are the key right now. Feet, arm, not in sync at all. He ends up throwing that one past his receiver that's open.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is taken at the 15. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position. The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down.
Go! Flip again!
This is Jones. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
The ball carrier, Jaron Reed on the tackle.
1 quarter remains in this NFC wildcard matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready? 54, right there. 54, Mike.
Here we go.
Shoot!
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. Rodgers now on first down. That is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The offense on third down tonight, they've been excellent, 6 for 7. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Buying time to it. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Haskins. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Haskins to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance,
a big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 40, past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Strong right. Strong right. Strong right.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dean Lowry drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal. Now Jones. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That one going to be complete to David Moore. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Haskins on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Their season ends here, a tough way to go out.